Hi everyone, and welcome to F-Bomb Friday. I am your host, Tracy Preston, along with my husband, Todd. Hey, hon.
Hey, baby.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
Let's hit it. On today's show, we will be talking about the Windego. The Windego is a mythical creature from Algonquin-speaking indigenous peoples in North America. The name Windego comes from the Algonquin word for evil spirit. They have red eyes, sharp yellowed fangs and claws. Its lips are chewed or entirely missing because it has eaten them off. The Windego has a disgusting, long, dark, blue tongue, which it uses to lick the bodily fluids of its victims. Its antlers, like a deer or elk, its body gaunt, emaciated with ash-gray, rotting skin. It is said the odor of the Windego is that of decay and decomposition, which is often the first thing that humans notice about them. They are giant humanoid creatures with hearts of ice. The Wendigos have superhuman strength, sight, hearing, and sense of smell. They can move as fast as the wind and have an insatiable hunger for human flesh. The Windego craves the sweet taste of children, the soft flesh of women, the muscles of men, and the fragile bones of the elderly. It is said that Wendigos were once humans who suffered through harsh winter conditions, finding themselves starving, and resorted to cannibalism. The first written account of the Windego was in 1636 by a French Jesuit missionary named Paul Lejeune. His report was based on the stories that were told to him by the Algonquin people of what is now Quebec. As the story is told, the very first Windego was once a lost hunter. Amidst a brutally cold winter, the man's intense hunger drove him to cannibalism. After devouring another human's flesh, he turned into a savagely crazed beast that roamed the forest in search for more humans to eat. Another version of the first Wendigo story is that the man was a warrior who made a deal with the devil. In order to save his tribe, the warrior gave up his soul to the devil and was transformed into a Windego. After peace was restored to the tribe, there was no longer a need for the fearsome beast to protect them, and the warrior was banished from the tribe and forced to live as an outcast. The tales of the Windego come from Algonquin Native American folklore. The stories still are told within the Native communities to serve as a warning against greed, corruption, selfishness, isolation, and with many stories of lore to keep children from behaving badly. The term Wendigo psychosis was first used in the 1920s by an oblate missionary named J.E. Sandon. Now, an oblate means it's a clergyman that is not a professed monk. The syndrome was diagnosed retroactively in historical cases of cannibalism in North America. Wendigo psychosis is a culture-bound syndrome that involves the combination of psychological vulnerabilities and cultural beliefs. It's characterized by a craving for human flesh, fear of becoming a cannibal, paranoia, anxiety, hallucinations, delusions of being possessed by an evil spirit, depression, violence, insatiable greed, and destruction of the environment. Perhaps one of the most well-known cases of the Wendigo psychosis is that of Swift Runner, a Native American man who murdered and ate his entire family during the winter of 1879. Swift Runner claimed that he was possessed by a Wendigo spirit during the time of the murders. No mercy was given to Swift Runner, and he was hanged for his monstrous crime. At the turn of the 20th century, the Algonquin tribes blamed many unsolved disappearances of people on Wendigo attacks. Around the same time, an 87-year-old man by the name of Jack Fiddler was tried and convicted for the murder of a woman. Although Fiddler pled guilty to the murder, he defended his actions by claiming that the woman was possessed by an evil spirit and was transforming into a Wendigo. He added that he had tried to kill the woman before she murdered other members of the tribe. Fiddler also claimed to have slain at least 13 other Wendigo in his lifetime. Aside from the psychosis, many believe that the Wendigo are still roaming the forest of Canada and the northern parts of the United States. Some say that within the icy hearts of these flesh-eating demons, there may still be human men who were once just hungry hunters and warriors. Although sightings of the Wendigo are rare in Michigan, there are a good handful, and descriptions of this terror are remarkably close to those of lore and legend. There are well over a dozen cryptids in the state of Michigan, but undoubtedly, the Wendigo reigns supreme as the most dangerous and terrifying. Wow, hun.
Right? This thing is frightening. Can you imagine coming across this in the middle of the woods?
Hell no.
And here's the thing. You wouldn't be fast enough to get away. It moves as fast as the wind. At superhuman strength, superhuman speed, superhuman sight, hearing, sense of smell. You can't get away from this thing.
Well, I don't like it.
Yeah. And accounts say that it's 10 to 12 feet tall, which is pretty big. Pretty big already. And it's also said that whenever it eats a victim, it grows that much larger. And that's why it's always hungry. Because it eats, it grows, it's hungry again. It eats, it grows, and then it's hungry again.
Right, it's like a growth spurt.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like that.
I know. It's terrifying. So I could certainly see why parents would view the story like this to scare their children into being good, because I think it would work.
Yeah, like if we started telling our children about this now, maybe we could end greed.
Right. While I was doing my research, one of the writers had summed it up pretty accurately. So if there's any Game of Thrones fans out there, imagine a White Walker. That's basically what this thing is, only it's like 100 times worse.
So the Wendigo lives in the forest?
In the forest, and in Canada and in the northern states of America. So it likes the cold weather. So that's where you're going to find this beast, is where it's the coldest and where it has the harshest winters.
So if I'm walking through the forest, wouldn't it be easy to spot this big, scary, nasty thing? Because it smells disgusting.
Right, you probably smell it first, and you might not see it because if you look at it, it's tall, gangly, with the antlers almost looking like branches. It might just blend in with the atmosphere.
So weren't you telling me that, like, the hands of this thing, like its fingers were really long, like big, long? Maybe they could look like branches, I'm thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
So this thing's just hanging out in the woods, starving as all hell, loves children. And so I can just see this thing with its big antlers and its long, skinny arms and big, creepy fingers, just like maybe posing like a tree.
Right.
Oh.
The next thing you know, you've got this 2-foot long, blackish, bluish, nasty tongue licking your cheek.
I don't want a big, nasty, long, bluish tongue licking my cheek. Oh, no. Ew.
So I think one of the things that makes this creature so terrifying is of all the cryptids and the legends that I've looked up for information, I've not found anything that had such detailed description of the creature. And I mean, they're right down to how it smells and its flesh and just rotting away. So yeah, it's very creepy.
Yeah.
This is what nightmares are made of.
We have a lot of stories that nightmares are made of, but I'm thinking this one takes the cake.
Yes. And it being an old story, I mean, the legends predate European settlers even, but just recently, its legend has gained popularity, and it's right up there with vampires and werewolves now as far as stories being told. There's a lot of movies out, a lot of books. Who knows? It's going to be the next Universal Studios monster, maybe.
I wonder if, so if it predates all that stuff, I wonder if the werewolves kind of morphed from the Windego.
Well, there were some accounts where people said that almost looked like a werewolf or almost looked like Bigfoot. I would imagine that its kind of furry appearance might give it that kind of closeness to it, but I did read some articles, and it one said, well, if a Windego and a werewolf got in a fight, who would win? And there was a bunch of fans that were writing in, and they were all saying the Windego would win. Hands down. We'd tear that werewolf up.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So if he eats the werewolf, I wonder if he then gains more likeliness of the werewolf, like becoming more wolf-like.
Oh, possibly.
Right, so it eats, whatever it eats, it grows the size of whatever it ate.
Right.
So if it was a 4-foot child, he grows 4 feet.
Yep.
Like how freaking tall? I mean, this could go to the sky.
Right. And does he shrink again if he's not eaten enough?
Could be.
I mean, maybe he eats and he grows, and then he can't find nothing else to eat, and then he starts shrinking again. I don't know. You have some characteristics like that.
What?
You're always hungry. You're always hungry, and you gotta eat right now.
Yeah, like, Regina says you got 15, to 20 to 30 minutes. No, we have 5 minutes max.
That poor lady that was murdered because that 87-year-old man said that she was a Windego.
Yeah.
She's probably just fucking hungry.
She's probably just hungry, and it's like, yo, dude, you didn't give me sustenance.
Yeah, he's like, no, that's it. Yeah, okay, she's turning into an evil spirit.
If you try to kill me, we're going to have a problem. Well, that was a great little story, hon. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right. Well, you want to sign us out, hon?
Yeah. Oh, did you want to invite some people to...
Yeah. In fact, listen, everyone. This is very important here. If you are listening to us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Follow along. We need ya.
We need you, people.
So if you like what you're hearing, hit that subscribe. All right. Now, hon, do you want to sign us out?
I would love to sign us out. Lock your doors, lock your windows, and you better check under your bed.
You might just have 3 witches like I did.
Probably won't have a 12-foot tall Windego underneath your bed.
No, those freaky little melon heads, they're creeping under there.
Melon heads, yep.
But not the Windego, he's too big.
Yep.
Well, thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend, and we will see you on Monday.
Yep. We'll see you on Monday.